This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Ryan Mee, the CEO of Fulcrum Metals, following two announcements from the company on Monday. Firstly, that the company has entered into a mineral claim purchase agreement with 1911 Gold Corp to acquire 100% interest in the Tully gold project located in the Timmins camp area of Ontario. And secondly, that the company has raised £325,000 through unsecured convertible loan notes to new and existing shareholders. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Ryan. First of all, how are you doing?
Yes, good morning, Mark. I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited about this acquisition for the company.
Well, I noticed from your comments in the RNS that you say that Tully represented a rare opportunity for Fulcrum to acquire 100% of a highly prospective gold project with a historical reported resource in line with NI 43101 requirements, no significant annual exploration work requirements, and significant upside potential in a truly world-class mining camp. So I guess the question is why? What's the rationale behind this? Why do you feel it has significant upside potential, and how does this fit into the overall strategy or plans with Fulcrum?
Yes, absolutely. So as you say, Tully comes with a resource estimate of 107,000 ounces. During our due diligence process, we felt that there's areas within that resource which we can go in there and we can extend that resource in a very cost-effective way. It's in a world-class gold camp in Timmins. It's produced over 70 million ounces of gold. So we are in the middle of gold country. So it's an area where there's a lot of gold production. We've got a resource. We feel that we can add substantially to that resource. We can do it fairly quickly. And to us, the deals cost us less than $6 per ounce of gold in the ground, which is relatively cheap. So by all measures, this is a fantastic addition to the company. The location is fantastic. We're bringing tangible value into the company through the resource, and it's a high impact project. This is all about resource definition and extending the resource there. And because of the location of the project, it's 2 kilometers away from a mine that's been developed at the moment, should be in production later this year. And it's just 14 kilometers away from an ore processing facility. So we've got lots of commercial avenues to make this project work for us. And it's a hugely exciting moment for the company.
Okay. Well, you say you picked it up there for less than $6 per ounce of gold in the resource. Of course, this was picked up from 1911 Gold Corp. How did the opportunity arise, and why did 1911 look to dispose of the asset if it's so promising?
There's some straightforward answers to this, Mark. 1911 Gold are focused in Manitoba. They have a gold mine which they're trying to finance at the moment.
Okay.
And this is a non-core project to them.
Okay.
They're not focused in Ontario. That there is the reason why the opportunity was there. And the reason why Fulcrum could take advantage of that is because, we're quite a small company at the moment, and we're looking at building up the company, such as bringing in assets with the resources like this.
Okay.
So we can move quickly. And that's the very straightforward answer.
Okay. Well, as we mentioned earlier, of course, you raised money as part of this transaction, I think, to help this transaction go through. But these funds were raised through CLN, that's convertible loan notes, with directors taking part in a fairly significant way. So could you just explain the rationale behind doing the fundraising in this way, and of course, then what the funds will be used for, considering as well that you've said that there's no significant exploration commitment required?
Absolutely. So in total, the company raised 520,000.
Okay.
The board contributed 195,000 of that. 325,000 was through some new and existing shareholders, just a small number of those high net worth individuals. And the reason for the CLM is because we're always keeping an eye on the dilution of existing shareholders. Obviously, the share price is not where we would hope it to be or think it should be. So we didn't really want to be raising at 14, 15 pence. So, and that's part of the reason why the directors have put such a substantial amount in as part of this, is to, it's to highlight the fact that we think that, the share price doesn't really reflect certainly what we've done since we've listed in February this year on AIM. And also to show the board's confidence in the project that we're bringing in. So we're absolutely ecstatic that we've been able to complete this finance. The convertible loan note is a subscription price of 18.5 pence. So that's substantially above where we are at the moment, hovering around the 15 pence mark. And hopefully, investors which aren't involved in the company at the moment might look at that and take a bit of a deeper look into what Fulcrum Metals is all about. And the fact that, we're no lifestyle company, as demonstrated by the board commitment and actually the activity on the ground, which if you have a look over the RNSs we made so far, we made multiple exploration activities and some really successful outcomes from what we've done so far.
Okay, so how will these funds be put to good use? Of course, some of them will have already been used in actually completing the transaction, but it is important to note that you have made the point that there are no significant or ongoing costs required. Are you saying here, you're talking about the cost commitment that generally a company has to make to a project in order to hold that license, and you're saying you're not actually committed to any spending, it's more just at your discretion and what you want to spend and where you want to focus the funds?
Yes, so because we've been able to raise this finance and bring the project in one go, it means that we haven't had to acquire the project through like an earning or an option deal. So, we're not financially bound to spending, X amount of dollars. Typically you'd be looking at $250,000 per annum over 4 or 5 years, maybe. And also there's no further cash payments to 1911 Gold at all. So if we go out there and find 2, 3, 4, 500,000 ounces of gold, there's no additional financial liabilities to the company to pay out on. So all these things actually makes this transaction a very clean transaction in terms of what it cost the company, but it gives us a great deal of flexibility on going forward. So the fundraise itself is primarily to bring this project in. There's a lot of historical data which we have gone through. There's a lot of drill core. There's a lot of pulp samples. There's a lot of reject samples. So what we can do is go through all those samples and reanalyze them, resample them, attach these to the existing resource modeling, and essentially get this project teed up for drilling.
Okay, get the project teed up for drilling. Well, that's good to hear. Can I ask you when you might hope to be getting some drills turning? It's always a tricky question to answer.
Well, the great thing about this project is it's really a winter drilling.
Okay.
So, with the portfolio of projects we have at the moment, is primarily summer exploration. So with the addition of the Tully project, that gives us year-round exploration flexibility. So it should mean that investors can, look at us and go, hey, these guys are busy all year round. These guys really want to create value.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Of course, investors will be familiar with the field season in Canada. So it's nice to see or hear that you could potentially have exploration going on all throughout the year and keep that news flow going. So I look forward to talking a bit more about the plans as you draw them up and complete those reviews and look to get into doing some drilling. But for now, thank you very much for giving us that update, Ryan Mee, the CEO of Fulcrum Metals.
Thank you, Mark. It's always a pleasure to come on and speak to you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.